Good evening, I'm Keely Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Topping our news this hour, the huge crowds on Suncoast beaches and waterways this holiday weekend.
With the big Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Festival and the U.S. Coast Guard urging all boaters to be extra careful. ABC 7's Rick Adams has more on boating safety.
I'm here in Cortez getting ready to hop on board a U.S. Coast Guard vessel where there is a heightened awareness for boating safety, especially since the 4th of July weekend is now upon us. Many more boats are out on the water this weekend, which means there's a much greater possibility of problems. We joined the U.S. Coast Guard on Friday for a cruise along the Intracoastal in Manatee County, checking in on boaters to make sure they are playing by the rules and staying safe.
It happens in a blink of a second, and it could be something as small as not knowing where a fire extinguisher is at or not knowing where our life jackets are. So we just basically try and educate the public. Just want to make sure we're preventing.
The U.S. Coast Guard says there are many steps you could take to stay safe. In addition to having and wearing life jackets, it's important to have a fire extinguisher on board, flares, and sound-producing devices, among other things.
Filing a float plan with a family member or somebody who's going to know where you are, knowing about your vessel, and knowing how many people are going to be on board. And your contact info.
One boater we caught up with while out on the water says he's happy the U.S. Coast Guard and authorities do what they do to keep the waterways safe.
I love it. We, it's a safety first thing. We like you guys here, to keep us everybody safe.
When the Coast Guard goes out, they tell us they will continue to have random vessel safety inspections. So whether you're on land or out here on the water, officials say it's important for you to do everything necessary to stay safe and have a great holiday weekend. Reporting from Longboat Key, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Rick. Not only will the local waterways be busy with boaters enjoying the holiday weekend, power boats will also be speeding along Lido Key. The Sarasota Police Department and Sarasota County Sheriff's Office are working together to make sure the waterways are safe before the races. Today, the dive team had to free a large boat that was stuck on a sandbar in shallow waters. They also straightened EDA channel markers to be more visible to boaters. The dive team removed an old piling that was under the water and a sailboat in poor condition near the mooring field in Sarasota Bay. If you're headed out to the beach for the powerboat races this weekend, there are a few rules you need to keep in mind. Lido Key public beaches will be closed to beachgoers from 11 p.m. until sunrise, which is around 6:40 a.m. from now through July 10th. Sarasota police say they will be strictly enforcing these closure times. Police are also reminding spectators to pick up all of their belongings, chairs, tents, umbrellas, and toys. Items left on the beach can pose a hazard for sea turtles and their hatchlings. Also this weekend, the boat ramp at Centennial Park will be closed until 6 p.m. on Sunday. New Pass will also be closed on Saturday and Sunday.
Several streets in and around downtown Sarasota are closed tonight for a big block party. Lemon Avenue from 1st Street to State Street will be closed until midnight. Other road closures include Van Wezel Way from East End to 10th Street, Central Avenue from Main Street to 1st Street, and Pineapple Avenue from State Street to 1st Street will all be closed until 11 o'clock tonight. Now, Main Street from Orange Avenue to Palm Avenue will be closed until midnight, and 10th Street from 41 to Sarasota Bay until 6 p.m. on Sunday after the races. Some of the drivers who will be behind the wheel of those big monster power boats are getting to know each other and their fans. Many of the drivers competing in the Grand Prix stopping by the Hyatt Regency in Sarasota for a meet and greet event this afternoon. Race teams from the Suncoast and all over the country were signing autographs and meeting their fans.
It's just awesome to have everybody come out and really appreciate our sport. Honestly, we don't do it for the money, we do it for the fans.
Of course, many of those drivers are now heading to the big block party in downtown Sarasota, which is about to get underway soon. The race teams and their boats will all be parked along Main Street so fans can check them out up close.
There will also be some live music and food vendors when the party kicks off at 6 o'clock. ABC 7's chief meteorologist Bob Harrigan is joining us now live with more on the party. Bob.
Yeah, it's getting set right here in downtown Sarasota, and I can see the big main stage being set up with some great bands going to be playing right there throughout the evening. And we're right here where the pineapple drop is usually taking place to bring the new year in. And now we're here for the big celebration for today, the block party tonight and it's all for the Grand Prix festivities that are going on. So far, the weather has cooperated quite nicely, and I'll tell you what, it's going to stay that way too. Here comes Ernie Ritz running by right now. How are you, Ernie? Good seeing you.
Nice to meet you downtown.
Yeah, can you believe that? It's 90 right now, sunshine. The dew point is at 74, and the humidity now at 59%. We have a west wind at 8 miles an hour, and that pressure is still pretty high. And the good news is tonight, again, most of the activity is well inland. We have to keep an eye on those showers in the Gulf, which are about 30 miles offshore, but they are very isolated, and they don't have much of a chance to make it all the way to the coast. But we'll keep an eye on it nonetheless. A little trough of low pressure, if you will, out there in the Gulf of Mexico. But for the time being, come on out. The boats are going to be coming down here, not in a parade, but they'll be lined up here as well with some great music being played, and plenty of people just kind of milling around enjoying the fine afternoon here in downtown Sarasota. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. An update now on the heroin problem on the Suncoast. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says it's seeing a small uptick in the number of heroin overdose deaths, but the numbers are still way lower than last year. In the first 6 months of 2015, there were 27 overdose deaths. In the first 6 months of this year, there were 7, possibly 8. Although that number is much lower, 4 to 5 of those deaths happened in June.
It's been a pretty good week for pro-choice supporters. Last Thursday, late last night, a Florida judge placed an injunction on portions of the state's new abortion law. Those rules, which were set to take effect today, would have defunded Planned Parenthood and created several other new regulations. The judge's ruling stated government cannot block funding for an agency because it provides a legal abortion service. The ruling also blocked another portion of the law that would have required annual abortion record inspections.
We're just gratified that we'll have access now to funding that certainly doesn't cover the costs, but helps us in providing care to women all over the state and their families.
We are disappointed that the judge ruled in that way, but we will continue to fight. That's not the end of it.
The judge did keep one provision of the new abortion law intact, which redefines dates of gestation and pregnancy trimesters.
A group of Sarasota County employees is working with Military Officers Association of America to collect and ship items to soldiers overseas. They're asking people in the community to help by buying items to donate to the Sarasota chapter of MOAA. The care packages provide troops with some of the comforts of home. So far, more than 100 boxes have been shipped, and county staff is working hard to collect items for 100 more boxes.
That folks are actually going out to the Dollar Generals, to Walmarts and things like that, and getting these items, whether it's razor blades, feminine products, and letting troops know that they have a slice of America back wherever the forward operating bases they're operating in and out of.
Retired Army Captain Steve Thomas says the card packages helped him while serving in Desert Storm. He's using this as an opportunity to give back and make a difference.
I'm sure those packages will be welcomed with open arms when they arrive.
Sometimes it's the small things that make you feel more at home.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, the algae bloom spreading along the east coast of Florida. What the state and U.S. Army Corps of Engineers are doing now to stop the bloom and protect the marine life there.
And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast live from the block party in downtown Sarasota. And later in Health Smart, the one simple trick that can ease menopause and depression symptoms in women.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease the new Civic for $169. A well-equipped Civic, just $169. Now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda, Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
At ABC7, our entire weathercast is dedicated to the Suncoast, and now we bring it to you like never before with the all-new official Suncoast forecast. Beach and boating forecast. The winds will be out of the northwest at 10 knots.
Now, with the most advanced graphics and technology, we bring you weather where you live, pinpointing right down to your neighborhood.
Zooming into the Sarasota Bayfront,
the all-new official Suncoast forecast, only on ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Discover the biggest savings of the year on some of America's favorite vehicles during the Drive and Discover event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get 4-Wheeler Magazine's 4x4 of the decade, a new Jeep Wrangler as low as $25,999, or drive away in a new Jeep Cherokee for just $19,999. Get a new 2016 Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease the new Accord for $189, just $189 or 0.9% APR. Now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
Now to the bright blue green algae blooms that are taking over waterways and beaches on Florida's Treasure Coast.
The algae emergency is greatly affecting Martin, St. Lucie, Palm Beach, and Lee counties. Today, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers started cutting how much water flows out of Lake Okeechobee. Many people believe pollutants streaming from the lake are fueling toxic blue-green algae blooms. Governor Scott has declared an emergency over this problem. Senator Marco Rubio is now calling on President Obama to declare a state of emergency to help businesses harmed by this massive algae bloom. This week, Senator Bill Nelson got an up-close and personal look at the algae during a tour of the St. Lucie River.
This is an emergency, and we're asking them to stop the flow of water into Lake Okeechobee and get as much out into the canals to the south so you don't have to release.
The Florida Department of Environmental Protection has launched a hotline and an online reporting form for residents to report algae blooms.
And some marine life on Florida's East Coast also suffering because of this blue-green algae problem. Chris Macia-Palas of Stewart sharing this video of a manatee on Facebook. The sea cow is struggling in an algae-filled canal, which looks like thick pea soup. Some people in the area offered the manatee some fresh water from a hose. They actually cleared away the algae so that manatee could avoid it. What an awful problem. I feel so bad for those folks having to deal with that. I mean, it's even the beaches, you're seeing all this stuff right there.
So much of it complete, as you can see there. It's just that small little area that's cleared for the manatee. Wow.
Well, a big crowd is expected in downtown Sarasota this evening for a huge block party.
It's a kickoff event for the Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Festival. The fun starts at 6 o'clock. ABC7's chief meteorologist Bob Harrigan is joining us live with more on this fun event. A little warm out there though, Bob.
It's warm, but it's not bad. There's a nice breeze coming down right now, Haley and Scott. I tell you what, this is kind of a new event. They're no longer doing the parade, but I think this is going to be pretty good. I think it may even top the parade. You don't know because the road's blocked off here from 5 Points all the way down to Orange, and they're going to have 30 boats lined up here from medium to large, and also they'll have some of the jet skis. They'll be packing these in over the next hour or so, and you can get up close and personal with them and meet the drivers. So they'll be hanging around. You can talk with them. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it looks like the weather is going to cooperate. Although it is warm, as I said, there's a nice breeze coming through here. And I'll tell you what, it beats the alternative with thunderstorms around like we normally see this time of year. Let's go to show you what's happening with the pictures as far as that goes. We have had some great pictures of last night. Look at that beautiful sunset, and we'll see similar conditions again tonight. There are a few showers well off into the Gulf. And if you're wondering about the 4th of July, for the fireworks, it's going to be pretty good. I mean, normally we're dodging storms. They're all over the place, and looks like just a slight chance for a shower. Only a slight chance, little Davy. Casey Key webcam showing basically fair skies today out on the beaches as a result of this westerly component, which is forcing everything along the east coast. Not much going along the immediate coastline. However, there are some showers way out there in the Gulf, and they're having a hard time making it all the way into the Suncoast. You can see that activity kind of breaking up as it pushes to the east. Will it have enough to hold on? I doubt it. Some big storms earlier in Orlando and now near Disney World. They've been getting hit hard throughout the last hour there. And then the stronger cells, as it has been all week long along the east coast, and some big storms firing up near Cape Canaveral and just offshore of Daytona Beach, and at Homosassa, and looking pretty good there. As far as the scalloping season goes. And you can see what's happening. Titan radar picture not depicting any rainfall around here at this time, at least on the mainland. A little bit more moisture around out in the Gulf. That's associated with a line of low pressure, if you will. Currently, it's 90, the heat index at 99 degrees. But as I alluded to, if you're near the water, there's a bit of a breeze there, and it's actually not too bad out here, especially if you're made in the shade. 82 degrees now in Jacksonville. Orlando has cooled to 79, and 94 degrees in Lake Placid, 85 at Cortez, and 89 now into Venice Gardens. Well, the RPM forecast model looks like this. Showers and storms mainly inland tonight, and then some coastal showers in the morning tomorrow, just a few. And then looks like tomorrow night, once again, inland storms firing off. And it looks like Sunday, more of the same, although maybe a little bit more morning action. So we'll have to keep an eye on that because the races do begin, I believe, in the 9 o'clock hour or so. And then showers and storms moving off toward the east. So maybe a couple of showers could delay things in the races. But all in all, it will not be a washout at this time. That's what it's looking like. And for the 4th of July, looking pretty good, too, on that front. Well, cooler over the Great Lakes, into the 70s there in places like Cleveland, Detroit, and Toronto. Phoenix, 93, at least it's cooling down there a little bit. And for boaters, it looks to be really nice over the weekend, all the way through Monday. And there'll be a lot of boating going on, so be careful out there. Light chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature at 91 degrees right now. That's like bath water, and not much of a cooling breeze there. And high tide, 12:48. Low tide will be at 4:52. Scattered storms inland tonight, partly cloudy, 78. And a few morning showers are possible. Tomorrow looks good for the beaches as you're heading out. Look for just a slight chance for a few morning showers and then inland storms later on in the day. The extended forecast, fairly typical once we get to Wednesday. We'll start to see those storms return back toward the coast in the afternoon and evening after the events.
A whole bunch of boats getting ready to come.
All right, I've just been told to move by this gentleman here, so we're going to move it on over. Move it on over. Rock it all over. Okay, the boats are coming down. We'll get out of the way. Back to you guys.
Bob, taking orders there. Let's take a look how traffic is moving on the Suncoast right now. Traffic is backed up on I-75 as you head south near Jacaranda Boulevard. There was a crash there earlier this afternoon, and as you can see, it's still impacting traffic heading south. Haley.
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, a survey that examines how technology is affecting doctors and their stress levels. Mayo Clinic researchers found doctors who use electronic health records are 33% less satisfied with how much time they spent on clerical tasks, and they had a 29% higher risk of burnout. Although some doctors say electronic records make their workday more productive and they can more easily reach out to patients. Experts say the makers of the software need to work more closely with physicians and staff to help them understand how to make these records more clinically relevant and user-friendly. In a CDC study of suicide rates by occupation, farmers, lumberjacks, and fishermen ranked at the top. Researchers found the highest suicide rates in manual laborers who work in isolation and face unsteady employment. High rates were also seen in carpenters, miners, electricians, and people who work in construction. Mechanics were close behind. Suicide is the nation's 10th leading cause of death. It is most common among middle-aged men. Stretching just 10 minutes a day might help ease menopause and depression symptoms in middle-aged women. A small study was conducted on Japanese women at the Physical Fitness Research Institute in Tokyo. 20 of the women were randomly assigned to stretch 10 minutes a day before bedtime for 3 weeks. The other 20 were instructed to remain sedentary before bed. Overall, the women in the stretching group had improved scores on questionnaires about chills, mood, sleep, body aches, and depression. Coming up next, a rough week for roller coaster riders, how long these thrill seekers had to wait after a coaster abruptly stopped in Texas. And dance challenge accepted. Deputies in Orlando create a video to honor the victims of the nightclub shooting.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Learn how to prepare a readiness plan and survival kit. Know your evacuation route. Be prepared, Suncoast, when severe weather threatens. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV.
College is the best starting line a Florida student could have. Since earning my degree at the University of Florida, I've gone on to be a NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Rookie of the Year and a team owner in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series. Thanks to the Florida Lottery, many more students will be off to the races with a brighter future. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
This Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Minute is brought to you by Florida Leather Gallery.
This year's Grand Prix race will feature 2 full days of racing with more than 60 aquacross teams racing personal watercraft and 10 superstock race teams averaging speeds around 85 miles an hour. There will also be more than 25 powerboat teams racing at speeds approaching 100 miles an hour in the production class. And in the extreme class, the boats top 150 miles an hour. You don't want to miss this non-stop race action off Lido Beach.
Florida Leather Gallery is celebrating the 4th of July with spectacular savings. Take 33% off hundreds of styles. Experience freedom of choice with a wide and wonderful assortment of leathers. Freedom from worry with our impressive collection of protected leathers. And freedom from guilt as we proudly offer the lowest price guaranteed. Plus, free delivery. It's all happening right now. Come celebrate with our Lexperts at our 6 Florida Leather Galleries.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
A wild ride for some passengers on a roller coaster in Texas until it got stuck. Several riders got stuck while riding the Shockwave roller coaster at Six Flags in Arlington. The theme park says the ride stopped automatically when the roller coaster computer detected an error. All passengers were able to get off the ride within about 30 minutes. No one was hurt, but this comes during an unlucky week for roller coaster riders. 8 people were stuck on a coaster in Oklahoma on Wednesday, and 10 others were injured over the weekend after a coaster derailed in Scotland. Terrifying moments captured on camera of an Oklahoma pro skydiver's parachute malfunctioning while in midair. Watch this. The skydiver deployed the main chute, and then the cords became tangled, which sent him into a free fall spin. Well, he managed to cut it loose and then deploy his backup chute, allowing him to land safely. The man says out of his 1,600 career jumps, this makes 8 backup chute rides. Wow.
Some of the best competitive eaters are getting ready to dog it out. Participants in the annual Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest took part in the traditional weigh-in in Coney Island today. 8-time champ Joey Chestnut is looking to upset last year's winner, Matt Stoney. He downed 62 dogs in 10 minutes to take home the championship. Both men and women will compete on Monday afternoon.
Keep dancing, Orlando. Hit it.
Flashback Friday on that song right there. The men and women of the Orange County Sheriff's Office are showing off their dancing skills. They created this video for Keep Dancing Orlando Challenge. The challenge was started to help Orlando stay positive and to honor the 49 victims of the Pulse tragedy. The employees danced their way around the station to Whitney Houston's song, I Want to Dance with Somebody. The sheriff's office is now challenging other departments to keep on dancing.
There's some talent there.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Good song, too. Still to come on your Suncoast News, making the Venice seaboard more appealing.
The improvements the city is making now along a stretch of the waterfront in Venice. The story coming up.
Hurricane season is here, and Suncoast weather can go from this to this in seconds. So when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We're armed with the most advanced weather technology so that we can bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
Plus, we focus on the Suncoast and track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Don't miss the 32nd annual Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Festival, June 25th through July 4th. This year's festival features a kickoff party at the Sarasota Yacht Club, Boats on Main block party, 2 days of aquacross and powerboat racing off Lido Beach, bayfront fireworks, and so much more. Produced by and benefiting Suncoast Charities for Children. For festival info and VIP race day viewing tickets, visit SarasotaPowerboatGrandPrix.org.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
That's Chuck, proud homeowner, regular do-it-yourselfer. Today he's attempting an electrical repair. This is Pablo. He's an electrician with Mr. Sparky. How's he doing, Pablo?
Terrible, Mike.
Yeah. What Chuck doesn't realize is that almost 68,000 home fires are caused every year by electrical problems.
What?
If he doesn't have the proper tools and training, he's liable to start the next one.
Little help here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
You might want to write that number down.
This Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Minute is brought to you by Sarasota Ford.
Powerboat P1, P1 Marine Foundation, and Suncoast Charities for Children invite you to Share the Beach. In an effort to protect local wildlife during Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Festival, beachgoers should wait until sunrise to set up on the beach race weekend due to turtle nesting. And if you see a manatee, give them the right-of-way and don't touch them. Together, we can all enjoy the races and share the beach.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford because Sarasota Ford guarantees you our lowest price on every new Ford every day. Save on America's best-selling truck, 39 years running, the Ford F-150. Fusions, Escapes, over 800 vehicles on-site or online, all on sale. Buy with 0% for 60 months. And now, get up to 2,000 trade assistance. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.